Alrighty, Shavua Tov guys. Welcome to day 8. Today's idea is kosher. So we're going to talk about how do we use augmented reality to more easily find kosher food. And you'll see later on, this will apply to all other types. It's not just limited to kosher. So think halal, think gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, nut-free. Anyone that has restrictions, specific things that they need to look for and they can't get all food and they need to know specifically which food they're able to eat, this applies to them, right? So first let's paint a picture, right? You're Jewish, you keep kosher, you're traveling, right? Let's say you're in Mexico. Mexico doesn't have the great honor, or Mexico is not like a neighboring country like the United States where pretty much every single kosher food has a kosher logo on it, right? You just have to take it off the shelf, look at the back, see the logo, oh yeah, that's kosher, and chuck it in. So you don't have that pleasure, right? You don't have the privilege of even being in a big Jewish city where even your average supermarket there has kosher aisles, kosher bakeries. So even if you're not in a country that has the logos, you at least, okay, so when you're traveling, you don't even have the big Jewish city vibe, the area where you're able to just go in and then there's kosher. Or even some places which might not be the main area but a bit further out have kosher aisles. You don't even have that. You don't even have a kosher aisle to help you find food, to help you find kosher food, the food that you're allowed to eat. So, I mean, obviously, kind of like the best thing that could possibly happen is if you walk down your aisle and just like the kosher food just finds itself and just falls into your shopping trolley. That would obviously be like the best, but like, let's kind of try and get, what can we do with augmented reality, right? So picture this, and this is already, we already can do this, right? This is not something that is out of our reach, right? So picture this. You walk into your area with your phone and you're kind of looking through a camera feed. It's almost as if you're taking a video, right? So you see the aisle, you walk into an aisle. And imagine if through the phone, every single kosher food was highlighted. Every single kosher food jumped out at you. There are lots of ways of doing this, right? We can think of similar to like what we did with the AirTags. Let's throw some ideas out. Just like imagine if all the kosher food had little arrows pointing at them. Imagine if they have like a little outline, like a glowing outline. Imagine if they even had like a little kosher logo showing exactly which kosher authority said that this food is okay, right? It's a similar concept to the AirTags where it's you're highlighting items with augmented reality. You're not explaining which item, like, oh, this is the popcorn, nor are you having to search things out. You're not having to look through lists. Your phone, through computer vision, using computer vision, with augmented reality, highlights the kosher food, right? Makes it very obvious what it is. It differentiates the food that you can have from other food. Now imagine that. Imagine if you could just walk through and with your phone or with a pair of glasses later on, see every single kosher food differentiated, right? This is leaps and bounds what we have today, right? Think about you have a couple options, right? Some of the options is a kosher book, right? So by your kosher authority in your town has probably written a book. Now that book information changes quite often. So that book most likely is going to be a little bit out of date, right? And depending how old that book is, it's going to be more out of date. The next level is having an app, right? That already exists. Like in Australia, you'll have the app that you can search through. Let me tell you, if you've ever used that, or if you haven't used that, searching through that thing is so not friendly, right? And I understand categorizing is hard. Even spelling the correct food. Different people have different spellings, right? Searching it in a database like a phone, on a list, on text and things like that is so hard. Just imagine you had all the power, right, of that. But instead of doing any type of search or anything, you could just point it out an item. You could point it at 10 different foods, right? You're not even searching one by one. You're pointing out 10 different foods. And boom, you see that one's kosher, that one's kosher, that one's kosher. Boom, you're done, finished, easy. We're gonna finish off right there. I would love to hear if you guys have different ideas, different things that you've seen. If you're working on this is something that I actually actively reached out, and I was speaking to some kosher authorities to work on this, to move away, or either to add on to their app or to build a completely new app where all the other kosher books the kosher databases all over the world can be filtered in. So if this is something you want to work on, it's not something that I can spend too much time, but I can help advise you of how to do this. But speaking as someone that eats kosher and moves around, and knowing everybody else who has to use the current books, current technologies, current apps, current things like that, this would be so different, so much better. And for everybody else, like gluten-free, vegan, peanut allergies, anything like that, if your food could stand out in the aisle, right, stand out from all the other foods around it, you would probably love something like this. So would love to hear you guys' feedback. If you're working on this, if you want to work on this, I'm definitely happy to help you out. Anyways, that's it for the idea. That's it for me today. Shavua Tov, guys, and I'll see you guys in the future.